Have you guys ever noticed that it's usually the stupid people around you that have this false confidence and this false idea that they are actually really intelligent and smart and everything they say is just right and correct and they can never be wrong about anything and their way is the right way and everything they've been taught and grown up with is just totally the right way and oh they're just like the arbiter of knowledge and they are just the authority of what's true and what's not. Whereas the people around you that are genuinely intelligent and genuinely intellectual and genuinely have a certain level of smarts to them, they're always the people that are more humble. They're always the people that are doubting themselves. They're always the people that are able to admit when maybe they may not know something or they could be wrong about something. Well, that's a real thing. That's a real thing, and there are a lot of reasons for this, but the main one is, have you guys ever heard of the Dunning-Kruger effect? It's essentially a phenomenon that says something along the lines of, when you don't really know much about something, you tend to overestimate how much you think you know about it, right? And then the more you learn about said thing, then all of a sudden you can realize just how much you didn't know and just how much you have to learn. So that's largely why you see a lot of people who are actually like morons that are really stupid and aren't intelligent think that they are, you know what I mean? They think they're just so smart and all this kind of stuff. It's because they don't understand what they don't understand. You see what I mean? They don't have enough knowledge. They don't have enough real knowledge and real understanding about things in general to be humble and realize that what they're saying or their point of view may not be the end all be all, right? They just think that their way is the best and that's just it. You know what I mean? Nobody can ever question me and this kind of shit. And the smart people, on the flip side of that coin, the smart people, they're always doubting themselves. They're always saying to themselves things like, well, I could be wrong, you know, well, maybe this or that, or, you know, I have a lot more to learn about this particular thing. There are people out there that know way more about this than I do, and they're always able to take questions, and they're always questioning themselves and questioning different things, and they're not sitting there acting like they just know it all and they're just so right and stuff like that. These are the people that have the real intelligence, that are actually genuinely smart people. People that are able to admit whenever they may not be right about something, or that they have more to learn about a particular thing, or that, you know, whatever thing that they're saying may be wrong, even if it's right. They have the humility to understand that there's a lot of things out there that they may not understand, or that they don't necessarily have the full-on knowledge about. So that's why you see a lot of narcissist guys who are objectively stupid people that, you know, maybe they have no education, maybe they, you know, have no wisdom at all, maybe they're just some moron, some NPC, but they have this pseudo confidence, they have this fake kind of, you know, grandeur about themselves where it's like, yeah, I'm totally right about this. I'm just so right all the time. And they speak about things where it's like they sound like you absolutely have to believe them because they just think they're so right and all this kind of shit. And everything they're saying is absolute fact and you can't question them and all this kind of shit. Or they feel threatened and all this stuff, because the reality is people like that, guys, are very fragile in their intelligence, okay? That's why they have to put on this suit of armor, fake confidence when they're talking to you and acting all fake smart and fake intelligent and shit, because they're protecting their ego. That's really what they're doing. They can't really face the truth of the fact that something that they may be talking about may not be true, right? Or may not be 100% true. They may not be very knowledgeable about the thing that they're talking about, which is really the truth. But instead of facing that fact within themselves, instead of admitting the truth to themselves, they take the opposite route. They compensate for that by just fake pretending like they're right, or fake pretending like they're super smart and shit like this, and trying to impress you and all that kind of stuff. And that's why so many times when you're around these stupid people that think they're smart, let's say, for example, they're in a group setting, right? And they'll be trying to act smart to impress the people around them. They may be saying something about a particular topic, that is totally false, right? They think it makes them sound smart. So what they're saying is completely untrue and false, but they're saying it with such confidence to where it may sound true to people that may not know about the particular subject that they're claiming to know about, right? That's kind of what they do. They have this pseudo false confidence behind their words to make it sound like what they're saying is, to make it sound like they have such confidence about how wrong they are. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what's funny about it too. They're obviously very wrong, and what they're saying makes no logical sense whatsoever. But they have this arrogance, this false confidence about, you know, well, if I'm going to be wrong, if I'm going to say something that's obviously wrong, at least let me sound confident about it. Whereas the smart people, the people who are genuinely smart and genuinely have intelligence, a lot of times they may be saying things that are very true and deeply profound, but they're not as confident saying it because they have this knowing underneath that they could be wrong. That's the difference. They have more of a humility to the words they're saying, whereas the stupid person, they have a false pseudo bravado like confidence, and they're just, what they're saying is totally wrong. And you can see right through it as someone who is actually intelligent, someone who has real smarts, someone who has real intellect. You can see right through that. And for these stupid people that think they're smart and act all smart and shit, in their mind, they think that, oh yeah, everybody in the room thinks I'm smart right now, and yeah, and shit. I'm the smartest person in the fucking room, and all this kind of shit. Whereas everybody else in the room can see how stupid they are. You know what I mean? Like, in many ways, they're doing themselves a disservice by trying to pretend like they're fake smart. You know what I mean? It actually makes them look worse in many ways. They don't, it doesn't get them the effect that they're looking for. It doesn't give them the approval and the validation of being a smart person that they think it does. It actually makes them look worse, and it actually makes them look dumber than they are. That's the truth. So that's the thing about these individuals that are very low IQ and kind of low intelligence and shit like that. They're not, they don't have enough understanding to be able to admit that they have to learn more about a particular thing, or that there is a lot more to learn about something that they're talking about. To them, that they may have just like read some article 5 minutes ago on Google about whatever the thing that they're trying to act smart about is, and now they're trying to act like they may be in a group of friends or something, and they're trying to like impress people for validation or something. They read some article 5 minutes ago on Google, so now in their mind they're gonna act like they're just the expert on that topic. Yeah, everything I say is totally right, and this and that, and yeah. You got to believe me. I'm the authority on this topic here. You know what I'm saying? And all this fucking shit. It's total bullshit. You can't really believe these people. You can see through the act, because at the end of the day, it's all an act, guys. People who are genuinely intelligent and actually intellectual, okay, and have a real level of intelligence, are able to be humble and are able to understand that they don't know at all, and they may not know about something. Saying the words "I don't know" is the most honest thing that anybody can say. And guys, for these fake smart people, these stupid people that think they're smart, honesty and humility is not on the table for them. It's just not something they can do. They have to protect their ego. They have to put on that suit of armor, you know what I mean? They have to pretend like they're so smart because they can't feel the shame of being wrong about something. They can't reflect and look inward and be like, well, maybe I don't actually know what the fuck I'm talking about, even though I'm pretending like I am on the surface. Maybe I have some more learning to do. Maybe I need to do some more reading on this particular topic or whatever it is. I need to educate myself more about this particular thing that I'm talking about. They can't really do that. They don't want to face the shame of that like the intelligent person would do, right? They don't want to face that. So instead, they just pretend like they're just right about everything and they're just so smart and all this kind of shit. So, and with the stupid people too, what you'll find is that if you question them on what they may be saying, or you try to challenge what they're saying in some way, they'll like fight you to the death. They'll argue with you back and forth to the death about whatever point that they're trying to make, which is largely wrong, they will like defend the wrong point as long as it protects their ego. You know what I mean? As long as it makes them feel like they're right, even though they're wrong. The stupid person ultimately just wants to feel right. They want to feel smart in a pseudo way. Whereas someone who's actually intelligent and the things they're saying are true and right and correct, they have no problem being questioned. They have no problem explaining things to somebody who is questioning them. They have no problem being challenged because they can back up the things that they're saying with logic and reason. It's like the stupid person would rather do anything and do all this mental gymnastics rather than admit that they're wrong because they can't handle the shame of being wrong. They can't handle the shame of not being the smartest person in the room or pretending like they are. So they'll do anything to protect their ego at all costs and make it seem like and feel like they're just right. They'll do anything but admit they're wrong about something. Yeah, guys, when you come across people that are like putting up this facade about look how smart I am, bro, and like I'm a genius, dog, and all this kind of shit, but you can see right through them like glass, and it's just like really pathetic to see someone act like that. That's clearly unknowledgeable about a particular thing that they're talking about, and you know they are. You can just tell. It's very sad to see that. It's kind of like it's like very pathetic. And then genuinely smart people that you come across. This is all energetic too. You can just tell energetically when you come across somebody who is really who they say they are and who is not who they say they are. You can energetically feel that. But people who are genuinely smart are always kind of questioning themselves, are always kind of admitting that they may not know something and admitting that they have more to learn about a particular thing. They're always aware of how much they don't know, right? Because there's always more and more to learn. You never have learned it all, right? Even if you're an expert in a particular thing, which there are experts out there, even if you're an expert in a particular thing, there's always more to learn. There's always more to learn. That's just the truth. That's kind of what the human experience is learning and growing, you know what I mean, in many different areas of life. But the pseudo-intellectual, the stupid person that thinks they're smart, they don't understand that. They don't think that life is a journey of learning and growing constantly. They think that they are just right as it is. They're just perfect as they are, and you know what I mean? Like, that's the case, guys. That's why stupid people, that's why people who are actually stupid have to fake act smart all the time, because they're trying to impress people and shit. They need people's approval and validation. They don't want to face the reality that they're actually stupid and they don't really know what they're talking about. They don't want to face that. So they compensate by being fake smart, you know what I mean, all the time and that kind of thing. So that's the truth, guys. That's the truth. Hopefully you guys liked the video. If you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. I'm John. See you guys in the next one.